Hello there listening to me today. The story of rare American coins has always carried a kind of magnetic power, because it blends history, mystery, patriotism, and the tantalizing possibility that ordinary people might unknowingly hold something extraordinary. When you hear the words United States of America, Liberty, and In God We Trust stamped into metal, you are not just hearing the description of a coin, you are hearing the echo of a nation's journey. From the earliest days of independence to the modern era, coins have served as silent witnesses to history, passed from hand to hand, generation to generation. Some of them, because of rare minting circumstances, historical significance, or unique errors, have become legends in the world of collectors, commanding prices that feel almost unreal in today's market. Among these legends, certain state quarters and commemorative issues capture the imagination of the public, especially those tied to powerful symbolism like oceans, founding dates, and mottos such as E Pluribus Unum. A coin bearing Rhode Island 1790, paired with imagery of the ocean and liberty, instantly evokes the early spirit of America, small states with big ideals joining together to form a nation. When collectors talk about rare variations, mint marks like D, unusual strikes, or limited production runs, they are talking about tiny details that can separate a common coin from one that becomes the centerpiece of a world-class collection. The fascination grows even stronger when people hear about record-breaking auction results. Over the years, certain U.S. coins, some dating back centuries, others surprisingly modern, have sold for millions of dollars. These are not just transactions, they are events that ripple through the numismatic community and beyond. Headlines about coins selling for prices equivalent to luxury mansions or entire companies fuel the dream that somewhere, somehow, a forgotten coin might still be waiting to be discovered in a drawer, a jar, or an old piggy bank. Emotion plays a huge role in why these stories spread so powerfully. The idea that a small, everyday object like a quarter or dollar could change a person's fortune overnight is deeply compelling. It challenges our assumptions about value and reminds us that wealth does not always come in obvious forms. For many Americans, coins are associated with childhood memories, allowances, vending machines, road trips, so the thought that those same coins could hold hidden, life-changing value strikes an emotional chord that few other collectibles can match. Bicentennial-era coins, state quarters, and special mint issues are often at the center of these conversations because they were produced during moments of national reflection and celebration. These coins were designed not just as currency, but as symbols, meant to honor history and unity. While most are still worth face value, a small number stand apart due to rare errors, exceptional condition, or limited minting anomalies. In the world of collectors, rarity combined with demand is what drives extraordinary value, and that is where the dream of million-dollar coins is born. The phrase North Pole in coin lore often sparks curiosity because it hints at the broader idea of global fascination and mystery, coins traveling far beyond where they were minted, carrying stories with them. A U.S. coin discovered in an unexpected place or preserved in pristine condition can add layers of intrigue that collectors are willing to pay dearly for. These narratives elevate coins from mere metal to artifacts with almost mythic status, and myth has always been a powerful driver of value. What truly fuels mass audience engagement, however, is the possibility that this wealth is not locked away in museums or private vaults alone. The repeated message, "Check your coins, don't spend them without looking closely," turns every viewer into a potential treasure hunter. It transforms a passive audience into active participants, scanning dates, mint marks, and designs with renewed attention. That sense of participation is what keeps people watching, sharing, and talking about rare coins across social media and everyday conversations. There is also a strong emotional undercurrent of warning and urgency in these stories. The idea that someone might unknowingly spend a coin worth thousands or even millions of dollars creates a mix of fear and excitement. It encourages people to slow down, to value what they already have, and to reconsider the hidden worth of everyday objects. This emotional push is incredibly effective in capturing attention and sustaining interest over longer periods of time. At the same time, these stories tap into a deeper American belief in opportunity and possibility. The notion that anyone, regardless of background, could stumble upon life-changing wealth aligns perfectly with the broader cultural narrative of the American dream. Coins become symbols of that dream, small, humble, and easily overlooked, yet potentially transformative. This is why discussions about rare U.S. coins resonate so widely and so intensely. Collectors and experts often emphasize that condition is everything. A coin that has survived decades or centuries with minimal wear, sharp details, and original luster becomes exponentially more valuable. This adds another emotional layer, because it suggests that care, patience, and preservation can be just as important as luck. A well-preserved coin is a time capsule, and owning one is like holding history frozen in your hand. As values rise and auction records are broken, the numbers themselves become part of the spectacle. Million-dollar sales, multi-million-dollar valuations, and record-setting bids create a sense of awe that keeps audiences hooked. Even if only a handful of coins ever reach such heights, the possibility alone is enough to ignite imagination on a massive scale. People are drawn not just to the money, but to the stories behind it, how a coin was discovered, who owned it, and why it mattered. This is why messages urging people not to dismiss their old coins are so powerful. A jar of loose change becomes a box of possibilities. An old family collection becomes a potential legacy. The emotional payoff is not only financial, it is also about connection to history, family, and national identity. Coins link the past to the present in a way few objects can. In today's market, with information spreading faster than ever, rare coin stories travel globally in seconds. Videos, articles, and discussions amplify the excitement, creating a feedback loop of curiosity and engagement. Even skepticism plays a role, as debates about authenticity and value keep conversations alive and dynamic. This constant motion ensures that rare U.S. coins remain a hot topic year after year. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of legendary American coins lies in what they represent: history, hope, and the thrilling idea that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight. Whether or not a particular coin turns out to be worth millions, the act of searching, learning, and appreciating these pieces of history enriches people's lives in a different way. And that is why, when someone hears about a rare U.S. coin that could change a fortune overnight, they don't just listen, they feel it, imagine it, and immediately look down at the coins in their own hands. Next up. The quiet power of Canadian coins often goes unnoticed, yet stamped into their surfaces are stories of royalty, nationhood, and hidden fortune. When you see the portrait of Elizabeth II, DG Regina on a 1999 Canadian 10-cent coin, you are not just holding spare change, you are holding a symbol of Canada's constitutional monarchy and its evolving history. These coins circulated through everyday life, passed through countless hands, yet a small number carry extraordinary rarity, historical importance, or minting anomalies that elevate them into the realm of legend. What seems ordinary at first glance can, under the right circumstances, become priceless. The words DG Regina, by the grace of God, Queen, carry immense historical weight. They connect Canadian coinage to centuries of royal tradition while also marking Canada's unique identity within the Commonwealth. Coins from the late 20th century, especially those tied to special transitions, limited mintages, or exceptional preservation, have become increasingly desirable to collectors worldwide. The 1999 era represents a turning point, when modern minting met traditional symbolism, and that blend alone draws intense attention from serious numismatists. The reverse side of Canadian dimes often features iconic imagery tied to the nation's natural heritage, evoking bays, coastlines, and maritime strength. Canada's vast waters, from the Atlantic to the Pacific and deep into the Arctic, are central to its identity, and coin designs reflecting this heritage resonate deeply with collectors. When rarity aligns with this symbolism, the emotional value multiplies. A single coin can feel like a miniature monument to Canada's geography, resilience, and quiet strength. Stories of rare Canadian coins selling for staggering sums, sometimes reaching into the millions, ignite the imagination like few other collectibles can. In today's market, the idea that a coin could be valued at nearly $10 million feels almost unreal, yet history has shown again and again that collectors will pay extraordinary prices for the right combination of rarity, condition, and story. These are not just purchases, they are declarations of prestige, legacy, and passion for history. Emotion is the driving force behind why these stories captivate such massive audiences. The possibility that a small silver coin, once used to buy a cup of coffee or dropped into a piggy bank, could transform someone's life overnight is electrifying. It turns everyday people into dreamers and treasure hunters. Suddenly, the act of checking your coins feels meaningful, even urgent, because the stakes feel unimaginably high. The idea of "don't spend it at any cost" taps directly into human instinct. It creates suspense and fear of loss, paired with hope and excitement. No one wants to be the person who unknowingly spent a coin worth millions. That emotional tension keeps viewers watching, reading, and sharing. It also encourages people to slow down and truly look at what they already own, rather than dismissing it as insignificant. Luxury imagery plays a powerful role in these narratives. When people imagine a rare Canadian coin being traded for the price of a luxury car or an entire collection worth more than a fleet of them, the contrast is striking. A tiny piece of metal versus unimaginable wealth. That contrast makes the story unforgettable and fuels the fantasy that a simple discovery could instantly elevate someone into a completely different life. Bicentennial and commemorative themes amplify this fascination even further. Coins associated with national milestones or symbolic anniversaries carry emotional gravity. They represent moments when a country paused to reflect on its journey, and owning such a coin feels like owning a piece of that reflection. When rarity enters the picture, these coins stop being currency and become cultural artifacts. Condition adds another layer of suspense. A coin preserved in exceptional state, sharp details, original luster, minimal wear, can be worth exponentially more than the same coin in average condition. This detail makes every scratch, every edge, and every shine feel important. It turns ordinary people into careful examiners, studying their coins under light, searching for clues that could signal extraordinary value. What makes Canadian rare coin stories so engaging is their accessibility. Unlike ancient artifacts locked in museums, these coins once lived in everyday spaces, drawers, jars, wallets, and old collections passed down through families. That accessibility fuels the belief that anyone, anywhere in Canada or beyond, could stumble upon something remarkable without even realizing it at first. The global market has only intensified this excitement. Canadian coins are no longer just of interest within Canada, they are sought after internationally. Collectors from Europe, Asia, and the United States recognize the craftsmanship, history, and symbolism embedded in Canadian coinage. As demand grows and supply remains limited, values naturally climb, feeding the cycle of fascination and speculation. Social media and digital platforms have transformed rare coin stories into viral phenomena. A single story about a valuable Canadian dime can spark millions of views, comments, and debates. Even skepticism adds fuel, as people argue, research, and compare notes. This constant conversation keeps Canadian rare coins in the spotlight and sustains long-term audience engagement. At the heart of all this is the dream of transformation. The idea that a small, overlooked object could unlock unimaginable wealth speaks directly to human hope. It aligns with the belief that destiny can hide in the most unexpected places. Coins become symbols of chance, patience, and hidden potential, which is why these stories feel so powerful and personal. When people are urged to check their old piggy banks, inherited collections, or forgotten piles of change, they are being invited into a moment of possibility. It is not just about money, it is about discovery. That moment of checking a coin becomes a moment of connection to history, to family, and to the broader story of a nation. In the end, rare Canadian coins are more than metal in numbers. They are stories waiting to be uncovered, dreams waiting to be imagined, and reminders that value is not always obvious at first glance. Whether or not a particular coin turns out to be worth millions, the emotional journey it sparks, the curiosity, the hope, the thrill, is what truly makes these stories priceless, and why audiences never stop listening.